In honor of the seven, here are 7 bold predictions for the upcoming 6th season of Game of Thrones, although they might not be as bold as Sir Grandfather. My first prediction is that Jon Snow will stay dead through episodes 1 and 2. Yes, episode 1 is called The Red Woman, yet I am convinced that the show is going to drag out his resurrection. That's because I assume that the great clash with House Bolton, the Battle of the Bastards, will be late in season 6. If that battle will really occur quite late, D&D can't rush things with Jon Snow, because what's he going to do between his resurrection and the great battle? Not much, probably. The show must needs take its sweet time here, I think. My second prediction concerns the same storyline. Roose and Ramsay Bolton both won't make it to the end of season 6. They will both die. The reason is pretty simple, actually. Jon Snow will eventually have to look north. That's where his real enemy is, the Night's King and his army of White Walkers and the dead. He will only be able to do so when the Boltons are defeated. I can't imagine either Roose or Ramsay surviving this. They have to go for the more important conflict to begin in earnest. Third prediction. Howland Reed is going to show up wielding old gods magic. Howland Reed was Robb's bannerman and Ned's before him. Apart from Ned and an infant Jon Snow, if we believe R+L=J, he is the only survivor of the Tower of Joy incident. We know that, if not for Reed, Ned would have died at the Tower of Joy. What we don't know is how exactly he saved his friend and liege lord. My money is on magic. Why? Because Howland Reed doesn't seem the warrior type, and because House Reed seems to have a special connection to the old gods. My fourth prediction is that Arya will leave Braavos. Arya's story in Game of Thrones is not in the same order as in the books, but she has already gone through all the stages on the show that there are in the books. Can she really stay in Braavos for much longer, while her heart is quite obviously in Westeros? I don't think so. If she does, her story arc might start to get boring pretty soon. You can only kill so many random minor characters before it's no longer fun to watch. Her days in Braavos are numbered, and they will run out before season 6 does. Now for a rather sad prediction, I guess. Missandei will die in season 6. Her little love story with Grey Worm has been doomed from the start. Let's face it, we are not going to see a happily ever after for a eunuch and his slave girl. You all know that quote about happy endings. Either Grey Worm or Missandei will die, I think. I choose Missandei because Grey Worm is still needed as a leader of the Unsullied. No other member has been introduced as a character yet, and I don't really see it happening in the future. On the positive side again, I don't think we will see any Dorne scenes in season 6. We will see the Sand Snakes and Trystane. That seems all but inevitable, but we won't be back in Dorne at any point during season 6, I think. The showrunners have made a point of excluding Dorne from the trailers, with the only exception being the ship carrying Jaime, Bronn and Trystane arriving in King's Landing. No Sand Snakes, no Doran, no Areo Hotah, no Trystane, no Ellaria, no nothing. Why would Dorne be the only known location to feature on the show, but not in any trailer? No, I am convinced that D&D haven't cut Dorne from the trailers only, but also from the show. Last but not least, I envision a simplified version of the Ironborn storyline from the books. There is no Victarion and no Aeron Greyjoy, and the Kingsmoot seems to be happening on a much smaller scale. Therefore, I imagine that things will happen much more quickly than in A Feast for Crows. Euron will become king and immediately sail for Meereen to either try to marry Dany or steal one or more of her dragons. I think he will have set sail by mid-season and will make the journey much more quickly than Victarion does in the books to fight something like a belated Battle of Meereen. These are my 7 bold predictions. Do you agree? Or do you think I'm off here? What are your predictions for the upcoming season? Please put your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, share, and visit the shit out of our blog.